Welcome home, sir. I am Barnabas Basil Fawlty. By order of the Duchess, I shall serve you as Major Domo of Corvo Bianco. I previously served with distinction at the Nibli family manor and in Nazaire with Admiral Rompali, who, as you are certain to know, is an extraordinary, demanding gentleman.
Whoa, Barnabas Basil. One thing you ought to know. I'm not your typical landed gentleman. Truth be told, this is the first real property I've ever owned.
Oh, in that case, you must leave it all to me. I shall organize, see to everything, and whip the house into order. I dare say this place will soon be the most prosperous vineyard around.
Great. Can already see I'm in good hands. Vineyard comes across as a place with a rich history. Know who owned it before me?
Baron Rossel, who went bankrupt, forcing him to sell the estate to the Duchess. The Baron, in turn, had purchased it from Monsieur Bolius of the Headsman, a truly colorful man of Ketweni origin.
He was actually a headsman?
No, not him, but his great-great-great-great-grandfather. He never hesitated, not once. Never sliced unevenly, never botched a job. For his exemplary service, the Duke granted him a title and this estate. Monsieur Bolius, on the other hand, was an engineer in his younger years. Sadly,
Shame that.
Not at all. He made even more of it. Began throwing wild balls to which he'd invite friends from far and wide in order to treat them to his wine and delight in the fact that at least someone could enjoy it. It's the sort of man he was, Monsieur Bolius.
Mind giving me a little tour?
Not in the least. Follow me, please. I think it would be practical to begin on the hill. Behold, sir, your estate in all its splendor.
Pretty vast.
Indeed. And now, sir, allow me to show you a handful of interesting details. Follow me, please.
Been a major domo all your life?
Yes, I come from a long line of major domos. My father was a major domo, as was my grandfather before him, as was my great-aunt. In fact, she was the one to start the tradition.
Great aunt?
A hard woman. It is said that already as a child, she knew where she was going and went there. When she arrived in Beauclair, she signed on as a chambermaid at one of the vineyards, then slowly worked her way up to Major Domo. She dragged the rest of the family up the same path.
Now that's lovely. Him at Matilda. Impressive.
The servants' quarters. I occupy the green home. With the Duchess's permission, I have hired a full staff. Their salaries to be paid from the ducal treasure.
Nice of her.
Not the most sightly part of the estate, I admit. But I think it's worthwhile for you as master of the domain to know where the help stays.
Vermentino this, Coronata that. Peace and
Baron Rossel ordered the vines in this part of the estate uprooted and olive groves planted in their place. They look beautiful, especially come spring.
Don't look at all bad now, either.
A man who dare not down some red is a man whose wife's like to
Down
thump
below
his
lies
head.
your vineyard, where we grow a strain of Carfanere, one of the world's oldest. Aged in oak barrels, it provides for an exquisite wine with distinct blackberry, wild cherry, plum, and cinnamon notes.
shout.
Marvelous.
Have to try it one of these days.
Armor at once.
Nice well. Picturesque.
Yes, though it ran dry long ago.
Bread at
During the raucous feasts Master Bolius held, he would order it filled with wine. There's a tale about a guest attending a Boleus ball for the first time and thus unaware of the custom. He had suffered great heartbreak and had decided to end his life by jumping into the well. The festivities were coming to a close, and the well was nearly empty when the suicidal guest finally jumped. Instead of killing himself, he merely broke his legs. To numb the pain, he drank the wine.
Drank himself to death?
Not at all. When found the next day, he had concluded he'd witnessed twin miracles. The water had been changed into wine, and he had survived. He retired to a monastery in the Dragon Mountains and began preaching the wisdoms of Lebioda.
You've spread some nastiness to me.
Monsieur Boleus' wife Nina kept a garden here. A supremely lovely place it was.
Bit neglected now.
I agree. Yet nothing stands in the way of restoring it to its former glory, and once again planting it with herbs and other vegetation. Madame Nina planted diminutive, delicate flowers and herbs here. One might say their aroma still hangs in the air.
You're quite the romantic, Barnabas Basil.
Drops of wine, and lo and behold,
This served as an additional wine cellar in years of plentiful harvests.
Bit of work and it'll make a fine stable for Roach.
something's in the wind.
The cellars, voila. During Monsieur Boleus' time, wine was kept here, but Baron Rossel used it to store olive oil as well. I took the liberty of cleaning up the mess, which...
I made while fighting the Bruxa. Thanks, Barnabas Basil. Appreciate it.
Follow me, please. As you can see, the facade is, how to put it, slightly stained. But one cannot deny it a certain subtle southern charm.
True, though it could use a bit of subtle paint.
Follow me, please. And welcome inside. On the left is the master bedroom. On the right, the dining hall and kitchen. Upstairs, you shall find the guest room, currently used for storage.
Not a bad idea.
At the moment, the house is only minimally furnished. Yet I believe we will, together, devise some innovative arrangements. A few paintings, for instance, would breathe new life into the abode immediately. With that, sir, you've seen the full lay of the land. Corvo Bianco is a beautiful estate. Though one must admit, time has taken its toll. Forgive me for being forward, but if you were to choose to invest a small sum towards its beautification, consider me at your service on the matter.
Think I'll take you up on that. Be sure to come and see you if I decide to do any remodeling. Mentioned the place could stand to be spruced up.
Almost decidedly, sir. The question is where you would like to begin this rejuvenation.
Been thinking about the outer walls. Maybe a fresh coat of paint or some patching.
If I might, dare to make a suggestion, why not start with a general renovation? I once oversaw such work at Admiral Rump. Not only did the residence positively sparkle afterwards, but we also made room to display the Admiral's armor and weapons, of which he...
It's in your hands then. Make the place shine.
I shall get to work immediately. Within a day's passing, I shall have sent for the crew which rebuffed the Admiral's residence. They are the finest specialists around. Highly skilled at what they do, it shall not take them too long, I wager. 2 days after they begin, your eyes will behold your residence in its refurbished, rejuvenated, beautified state. Is there anything else you require, sir?
Got these spacious grounds. But maybe it's time to make them more... useful.
Oh, yes! We certainly should. The way I see things, given your trade, sir, you would be wise to put in a
My armor needs work from time to time. You know, oil this, reinforce that. Could use a deep...
Admiral Rompali once hired a special...
Good. Order me up a table like that.
Immediately, sir. Will you be needing anything else, sir?
In my trade, my blades get dull pretty quick. Could use a grindstone, professional grade.
Of course. No one would consider that an unnecessary extravagance, I would wager.
Then send out for one, please. A high-quality stone to be set up in the yard.
Of course. I shall send a runner to town at once. I believe you shall be grinding to your heart's content by tomorrow. Will you be needing anything else, sir?
Now what? Change...
I shall be glad to answer.
Start it.
I agree.
Thanks. Gotta get back to my business now. See you soon.
Vermentino this, Coronata that. Peace at last.
You've spread some nastiness to me. You've spread some nastiness to me. You've spread some nastiness to me.
Renovations coming along all right, Barnabas Basil?
Superbly, sir. General refurbishment has been completed, and I took the liberty of adding 2 racks, each upon which you might hang weapons and armor, if you've some pieces you'd like to display. Likewise, I have prepared a few spots in which new paintings might be hung. In other news, the laborers dusting out the cellar have made a most unusual discovery.
If you say...
Sure, go on. Drink up while you're young, Coin.
Strange. Something behind this wall, I think. A laboratory. Must have been an alchemist at one time.
Hey now!
They say that to touch such swords as a
A
witcher
man
wears
who
on his
dare
back
not
is to
down
lose
some
one's
red
virility.
is a man
And not
whose
even
wife
Reginald's
like to
jewels.
thump his head.
The nonsense that comes out of your mouth.
BB, know anything about the laboratory in the cellar?
A laboratory? Alchemy? I know nothing of it.
It is. It was walled up. Equipment's pretty ancient too, so it must have belonged to someone who lived at Corvo Bianco before you started working here. Whoever it was sure knew their stuff, though. Got dragonglass vials and flasks.
Forgive me, sir, but
Just saying, it's top-notch equipment. True masterpieces of craftsmanship for use in alchemy. Brewing a concoction with this stuff versus doing it over an open fire? Well, there's no comparison.
then I am all the more delighted.
Starting to really like this place. Maybe we should keep going, refurbish some...
As you wish, sir. Shall we see to the house or the grounds this time?
Feels like by investing a bit of coin, I could make the house more functional.
Indeed, momentum is best maintained once established. Now that we've finished the general renovations, you might begin to consider such things as a new bed, or additional armor stands, or weapon racks.
Thinking about buying...
Excellent idea. In your profession, rest is supremely important. But say the word, and I shall order...
Great. Order me a fine bed, please. Think I deserve one at my age.
True indeed, true indeed. I shall send a runner at once. Is there anything...
Could you...
I know of a carpentry shop in town.
Fine. Order the racks.
Of course, at once. Is there anything...
Along the...
I agree. It would lend...
Yes, just please make sure they're solidly made and nicely finished.
It goes without by this... Is there anything...
Was wondering about the guest room.
Oh, but that is immaterial. All self-respecting homes should boast a comfortable...
Yeah, sooner we start on that the better.
I can tell a man of action immediately. I'll see to it myself. The room shall be ready. Is there anything...
Starting to...
What a splendidly wise idea. Now that...
You know Roach, my horse? Well, we've been through a lot together. And since I finally got a decent place to stay, I think she just...
Oh, a sturdy stable testifies to a most honorable... owner. Just say the word.
My Roach deserves the best. Have them refurbish the stable.
I shall get to work at one. Will you be needing a...
So, sometimes I have to brew a potion, but I can't find the herb.
Well, you're in luck, sir. The flower garden, once kept by Madame Nina, Monsieur Bolis...
Good idea, Barnabas Basil. Herbs there will save me hours of painstaking search.
The idea is yours, sir. I am but the humble Will you be needing anything?
That's all for...
Some red is a man whose wives like to thump his head.
Cheap shenanigans. I can't see a thing through these cataracts.
To reconcile, that's one thing, but to start making wine together, it's bonkers.
Renovations coming along all right?
I am delighted to inform you we have completed our labors. You can now devote yourself to enjoying... You must forgive me my temerity, sir, but I thought, with all the work on Corvo Bianco completed, and with his...
Sure, why not?
During the tidying that preceded the renovations, I came across a bottle of Sapramento. And then he ran straight into the crowd, burning bouquet in hand. All thought it a part of the performance, so they only laughed, even when the decor began to catch fire. It was not until the flames engulfed Baron Mahevkin's beard that folk began to realize something was amiss and went to put out the fires.
Sounds like Monsieur Bolius and Madame Nina threw some first-rate balls here.
It was so. In this regard, Baron Rossel was...
So tell me, Barnabas Basil, what's the wine situation like here? Am I gonna...
This year is out, I fear, sir. Last autumn, a fungus...
That'd be bad.
Isn't it, though? Allow me...
Thanks.
shout, "The beast!" You'll smell the soiled armor at once.